Hello, 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 and welcome back to FRLT Season 4, Tier 1. And yes, we return this week. We go to the track of Bahrain, Sakir, and it is 5.412 kilometers, 3.362 miles, 15 turns, 3 gyrostones down the pit straight, safe straight, and down that back straight. As you can see, huge amounts of elevation between turn 3 and turn 4. That's the heaviest bit of elevation you'll find on the track. Also, to look at the calendar, we've now completed the Netherlands, and we are going to Bahrain this week. Then we'll be going for round 3, home race, Great Britain. Then we go into Kota, Brazil, Monza, China, Saudi Arabia, Imola, and then Austria to finish off the season on the 14th of the 5th. But before we get into anything else, I'd like to introduce my co-com for this week as usual. Will, how are you doing?
I'm doing quite good, thank you. What about you?
I'm doing very well this week. It's been an interesting week. We're about to get going.
It's only Wednesday.
Yeah, I know it's driver's not able to tell the time of how long is 2 minutes, but we're going now. It's been a good week so far. Now, one area I actually do want to talk about is the standings from last week. My apologies. The music was really loud there. My apologies. Was the standings. That's one area I wanted to talk about, and that is specifically from the Netherlands last week, round 1. Interesting race. After penalties, post-race penalties, EVR lost their victory. XR8 lost their podium, I believe. Sorry, it was XR8 who won. They lost their win, and EVR lost out. Ultimately, it saw TTRE finish 3rd, XPG 2nd, and took their first ever victory in Tier 1 on their return. And also AMS take the lead of the constructors once again, which means for the first time ever, by the way, they actually lead the constructors out of round 1 in a season, which is interesting. In their 4 season starts, only once they have led. What's your opinion on it?
Well, yeah, it's definitely something out of the blue to see such a team appear. I guess they did have a bit of a weak race at the Netherlands, but still a bit surprised. But XPG though, with a surprise victory after penalties, with F1 Shorts winning. He finished 4th on track, but after penalties, he was 1st place. TTRE, after a very strong end to last season, in a very respectable P3. But yeah, I think XR8 are definitely up there now. If it wasn't for that penalty, they would definitely be in the top 2 or 3.
Yeah, I think realistically, I think it was going under AI during the safety car that caused it. We have shockingly 5 qualifying bans for tonight, which I can't believe I'm saying. A lot of interesting driving, we'll call it, shall we? We'll call it interesting driving.
Yeah.
But essentially, I do think it was an interesting one because last week I think saw AMS not being on top as they were for sort of round 6 onwards last season. We saw for sort of those sort of final 5 races very much AMS being the number 1 team. So we see another 2 drivers retire.
5.
There we go. The 5th.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah.
A lot of drivers having to serve qualifying bans. By the way, XR8's double qualifying ban is because of a separate incident they had during qualifying. That was Slipstream. So, but I will say, I think it was a pretty interesting one, though, that we saw for the sort of first time. AMS wasn't necessarily, let's be honest, they weren't really in the top 3 teams pace-wise. They were probably about 4th, I would say, on pace. So they were not there like they've been in recent seasons. They've always been inside that top 2 for pace. They've not been there this season. But it is BMH who's going to come straight in because I think he's invalidated. Oh, no, he's actually going on up. I thought he was going in. But let's ride on board with the LR driver. He goes from the right all the way over to the left, getting a bit of slipstream. Into turn 1 he goes. Brakes quite early, trying to get that apex right. running it tight into the next corner. Whoa, and a massive slide. The turn 2 and through turn 3. Heading down now, up towards turn number 4. On the brakes, onto the curb, and through the right-hander he goes. And a very strong cornering from the man of BMH. He's trying to get the car through. LR need a big week this week. They took penalties, and he invalidates on his run. And that is disappointing. But we've actually going to look back to AMS Frozen in the Williams, of course. First time they're taking on the Williams. They've taken on a couple. I think they've actually taken on 4 different cars in 4 different seasons. So it's quite an interesting one to see. And coming around, you can just see AMS Frozen trying to get that lap in. The hairpin looked pretty strong from himself. Into the next corner, though. You have a little bit of brake. Ooh, taking a lot of curb there. But keeping the car safe. Ran it a little bit wide. It's okay. Coming up through the long right-hander now into the tight part. A bit blind through there. But pretty nice from AMS Frozen. Looking very strong at the moment from the Williams. Of course, so far we only have 12 drivers who are able to qualify for now. As 5 qualifying bands. As you could see, Frozen coming up to the line. Let's see whether AMS can hold it. It's going to be a 1 minute 26.812. To be the first lap of the night. And that's a pretty decent lap.
This is already quicker than me. Anyway, Simba goes second with a 27.150. Milan, who's on mediums though, goes third with a 28.369. I think he will definitely improve because he is on the medium compound tyre. Benjamin, just coming around the final corner. How leave there? He's barely got any overtake left, deploy-wise, but I think he will just about survive. And Finn goes quickest.
Very strong from Finn. He's quite a bit quicker as well than AMS Frozen, so he's found about 2/10 over the Mercedes. But this is over the AMS, I should say. This is like what I was saying about last week, though. You know, the sort of the difference in performance we see from sort of AMS is quite shocking. As you see, Eastbrand only went P8, but of course he was on a slow lap. Let's see what he'll do on his lap. He's down by 1/10 in the first sector. I think he slowed down in the middle sector. I think he had a bit of an off moment. But Eastbrand is, you know, he's made a couple of appearances before. I think he has a win under his belt as well. He's one of the only AMS drivers to have a win. But I will say, I think AMS have sort of come into the season very much behind the sort of the grid in many circumstances. You know, we saw they weren't really battling for the podium or really even the top 5 until the end. But realistically, you know, they're only looking like they're about 4th best on the grid, behind XR8, behind EVR, and of course also behind, you know, I'd say to some degree also behind TTRE. So, you know, they found themselves behind 3 teams. They've gone from number 1 to 4th. They're of course leading the constructors. But if there weren't the penalties that were given out, I don't think we would have been seeing AMS on top, and they would have been quite a bit further behind as Eastbrand goes P4, but still over 3/10 behind provisional pole. AMS a bit far off at the moment for where they want to be. Yeah, I think this is going to be an interesting one to see though from everybody. But I think what is the most interesting thing here tonight is, I'd say, the amount of qualifying bans, I'd say. Because that's going to shake it up, isn't it? We've already got some drivers who were already quite quick last race. Ryan Benink, who of course crossed the line in first, but due to a penalty dropped down the order. XR8 Robbie. We've also got drivers like Zinks returning as well. So we've got sort of we've got a couple of drivers who are back again and who have proven themselves quite quickly. But interesting. Hello, Timon. Welcome to the stream. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on AMS being a bit slow. That was Raja just giving up on his lap time. Very, very scary moment for the LR driver, I believe. But yeah, I think the reason for that is because there were like not much competition for AMS last season compared to now. Like, we have so many quick teams that signed up and have qualified for like XR8. XR8 are definitely a title contender along with TTRE, who who did have a pace last season, but at the start they just didn't get the grips as such. EVR, they are also looking pretty quick with Connor fighting for most of the time for the win. Last round at Netherlands. So yeah, but right now HRT currently on pole.
Yeah, I have to say I do think it's going to be an interesting one though this season, because I think last season, of course, as we know at the start of the season, we saw sort of only really, I'd say, one team keeping up with AMS in the first sort of 4 races, and that was ABE. They were the only team sort of keeping up in those first 4 races. And then, of course, in round 5, we saw XR8 win, and then, of course, round 9 and 10, XR8 and AB would win again. So, realistically, it's 5 all. But when you sort of look at that, you notice that AMS went through a period of literally they got a hat trick of victories. They went pretty dominant, very much like season 2 as well. They had a really dominant period. I do think though that it's going to be an interesting thing to see in Bahrain. I think Bahrain will very much show where everybody is. I think the Netherlands was maybe a little bit of a glimmer, a little bit of a sneak peek at what we could see this season. But I think Bahrain will very much cement the sort of what we're going to see, because I think if we see SKG up there, if we see SEC sort of in those points positions, pushing a bit more, EVR up there, VEL up there, AMS, LR, all these teams, if we see everybody up there, HRT as well, who weren't here last week. If we see all of them, I think we're going to see a much sort of stronger, I'd say, sort of season, a lot closer season. And at the moment, I would say HRT are looking very much on top.
Yeah, hang on, I'm just trying to. I have 2 people.
Yeah, I am reading the chat. I can see the chat. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Okay. He joined.
And there's another as well.
I need to get Truly in. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I'll just speak while you do that. As SKG Milan goes P1 provisional pole, 1 minute 26.565 to the 0.5s. Now we go, getting lap times lower and lower. The drivers are getting quicker now, and it's going to be interesting to see how much quicker they're going to get as tonight goes on. Of course, it's an odd one, isn't it? It's interesting to see that nobody so far. Sorry for a couple of pauses. I was having to click a couple of things. It's interesting to see that nobody was particularly dominant during those runs. Nobody was. I think we saw one. Of course, we saw SKG Milan, but a lot more drivers across the line now. Benjamin, he improves by almost 0.6 of a second, brings himself a lot closer to the top 7. I think we've got Connor. No, that was Dusty up to the line. He pulls himself up into P3. AMS Frozen goes up into P2, 0.004 of a second behind. As now Finn goes into P3, also into a 0.5, getting quicker and quicker. I think Connor's just gone back into the pit, as now we see BMH, he invalidated his lap. And I believe that is it, but it is Milan quickest, followed by Frozen, Finn, Dusty, and then Shanez. 5 different constructors in the top 5. Looking very tasty. I will say one thing here. To be fair, VEL, we've got to talk about them a little bit, because they're actually looking really good. Fifth and
they really are. I mean, they are definitely very strong on qualifying pace, if not one of the quickest on a single lap pace. But I've just seen Simba going very, very slowly. But what we do need to see from them is a bit more consistency. That's why S-Brand goes on pole and beats SKG Milan with a 26.497. Just give 8% of the 0.4s. Back to what I was saying. Both the Velox drivers, they're obviously a very quick pair. Obviously, Simba on pole in my first just commentating here in Silverstone. What a race that was. So yeah, I think they were definitely in the driver poll, and if they can get some good consistent laps in it, they'll be in fight for a podium or even a win.
Very much. I'm just waiting to see what we see from LR. Because they haven't set a lap yet. Still 3 drivers without a lap, by the way. Both Raza Gamer and Lewin Skiller out on track. Raza Gamer currently on a lap. We'll see what his middle sector is. It's not looking amazing, but I think LR, you know, they didn't have the best of first races. They struggled a little bit, but they're coming into Bahrain with a bit more hope, a little bit more of a chance. I think they have either 10 or 12 points, I think, at the moment. So, you know, they haven't had the best of starts, but they're going to see what they can do. As Raza Gamer only goes P8, so it's not exactly where he wants to be. A bit far off of where he wants to be realistically. And we're going to actually watch his teammate, who's already invalidated the lap, Lewin Skiller. Last season, Lewin Skiller showed some decent, to be fair, skills out on track. Not showing them so far right now. First driver for their final runs is actually Frozen. He's already come out quite early. He's the first of them, and he's come out really, really far ahead of anybody else. So he's definitely going for that early run. Welcome, Cots. Welcome to the stream. I hope you're having a great day. As you see, Truly joins. We're going to have to see whether he'll have time to get a lap in, because he's going to have to rush a bit to get out there. And he's only got 1 attempt to remember, so he hasn't got long. Frozen making his way round with some slow speed on his outlap. We'll have to see how he does. We've now got an extra. We saw 3 drivers without a lap in this session. We'll have to see. Hello, Ramon. Welcome to the stream. I hope you're having an absolutely fantastic evening, because I definitely am. But yeah, I think it's very interesting to see how mixed the grid is. But one thing I do want to mention is actually how interesting sort of LR sort of is performing in regards to everyone else. You know, last season they finished 3rd in the constructors. This season they're not looking as far up. They're struggling a little bit more. But yeah, I think we should maybe go on board with AMS Frozen as we go on his final lap here in qualifying. Do you want to take it away?
Yes, I will. Follow right from first at the start, from the right to the left, break out just about the 100-meter board, very sharp turning. This corner is crucial because you now have another DRS straight and big evolution change through there, by the way. Oh, okay. Anyway, back into the onboard. This corner sort of falls away from you a bit, but it comes right back at you with a very twisty sector of the corners. Entering sector 2 now, and then with a very sharp hairpin, now approaching another very difficult corner. Even F1 drivers say that it's a difficult corner, but I think he's just given up on his lap.
I think it was the last corner that he took, just hopping over the curb. I think he lost pretty much all of his time there.
Yeah.
Disappointing to see, of course. You don't want your run to be over that early. But we've got Milan next. Let's see how Milan's going to do in the first sector. He needs to improve a bit. He's up by 77,000. So that might just pull him. At the moment, that pull him up into provisional pole. But remember, he's the second driver. He's going to be the guy everybody's going to be wanting to beat if he sets the fastest time. So they'll be basing everything off of him. This is where it gets difficult, is if you go early, everybody's basing off of you, but if you go later, at least you can chase something, which usually people are quicker and a bit better at doing, is chasing others. But Milan heading up towards the end of the middle sector now, heading up the... Whoa! And he's gone off! And I think, if I look on board quickly, he hasn't got enough fuel for another run. I think that's Milan's day done. That is it for Milan. And that is disappointing. But Eastbran is now on a lap. We've got another driver. It's either Eastbran or Truly, but I think it is Eastbran at the moment who's leading out of the 2. I'll quickly check the other guy here. It's not Dusty, it is Eastbran. He's coming round. 1 AMS invalidated, or we should really say pulled off a bit on his lap. Milan, it hasn't worked out for. But now we're going to see as Eastbran goes around. Ooh, a bit of a snap there from the AMS driver, I should say. And heading up the hill, he's also done. He's not happy with his lap. AMS not getting away lucky here for the moment. I think Dusty's the next one. He's close behind. He's down by 0.2 in his middle sector, so I think that is going to be his qualifying over. If we look on board, yeah, his qualifying is now over. More disappointment there. It's not working out well for a lot of drivers. A lot of drivers struggling to get around the track. Truly is coming up next. He's trying to push up to the line. Of course, he's one of 3 drivers without a lap so far. The worst he'll finish is 13th. Let's see what he's going to... Sorry, 14th, I should say. And up to the line, he's going to go only P12. So it is slowest of all the time laps. Milan and Dusty are done for tonight. And AMS Frozen goes fastest of all. Not by a lot. 22 thousandths. It is coming down close. We've actually got to look to... we said about Dusty himself. We've got to say about his teammate, Connor. He's up by over almost 0.4 of a second. But that's not going to be enough. That's only going to pull him up into P8. So he's still going to be a bit far off. EVR struggling a bit for performance here tonight. But Dusty's up there. Can Connor put himself up there as well? We'll have to see as he comes around. There is a slow Sauber on track. And across the line, Connor goes P7. Just slotting in ahead of Simba.
Honest.
As now, I think we've just seen Shanez stay P6. Benjamin stays P11.
What about Finn?
Finn,
No.
no improvement. And we see Simba goes up to P5, though, when he crosses the line. BMH does not improve his lap. We're going to have to see. Lewin Skiller goes to only P10. Not a massive improvement there. The next driver is Razza Gamer. He's up by about 0.2 of a second, so he is probably going to stay about P9. Yes, he does. He stays P9 in the end. And I think that is everybody done for tonight.
True, yeah.
Yeah, that is everybody done.
Yeah, truly, it's not
That
a
is
lot.
it. Oof.
AMS won too.
Also, by the way, I think TTRE only had 1 qualifying ban tonight, I believe. So, if anybody was wondering. But what an end to qualifying. It was quite close in the end, wasn't it? AMS 1-2. Dominance from AMS. But everybody else quite close behind. I mean, top 5 split by just over 1/10 of a second. 4 teams in that top 5. You know, and everybody's looking good. We'll have to see what everybody does. It's going to be an interesting one, though.
Yeah, it is. I'm just looking at that 14th all the way down to 19th and not set lap time. I found that quite funny. But yeah, AMS 1-2. We did quite believe that AMS was a bit slow 10 minutes earlier, which I find quite ironic.
You said they were slow. I said they were just a bit more performance in the first race.
No. You made a point and I agreed with it. So it's both our doing.
Okay. We'll say that. We're going to be getting ready in about a minute or so. In about 2 minutes' time.
Oh no.
It's going to be 3 minutes before we get readied up at 8:32 UK time. So we got a little bit to talk about. Impressive from AMS. And we can't call it dominant, really. Hello, Mark. Welcome to the stream. We can't really call it, I think, a dominant qualifying. They weren't clearly ahead. You know, it is literally a 10th, splitting them to sort of 6th place, 5th or 6th. So, but it's good to see that AMS are trying to sort of rebound from last race. You know, they do lead the constructors, so I think it's quite important for them to have a bit of a better performance. But the main thing is going down into turn 1, isn't it? And sort of keeping that lead.
Yeah, it definitely is. Yeah, it was very, very close qualifying, but AMS is slotting in the top 2 good positions. VL, very strong qualifying. I do remember that one of the drivers qualified P6. Not sure about the other one. LR, bit off the pace. Vasher lining up in P, I believe, and then Luan like P12 or P13. Milan, though, he's quite up there. I think he's...
It was a good qualifying for Milan. Unlucky on his final run, though. He was on for that what would have been still his sector 1 would have still been P3, by the way. But it was an interesting lap time that Milan was putting together, quite strong from the SKG driver. As we are about to get going, I can hear the little beeping in the background. So we're about to get into it, and we shall see the red lights very soon in the entire grid. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And away we go here for FRLT Season 4 in Tier 1 for round number 2. And it is a good getaway from AMS. They lead towards Turn 1. But look at that. That is the Sauber down the inside. And a Mercedes trying to go around. Oh, but Eastbrand is off. He's gone wide. He's lost out. He's also pushed the EVR driver off of EVR Connor. That's going to be a bit of mishap going on. There's a slow car in the background. That's Raza Gamer who's also gone off. But Finn getting the start that he needed to get ahead of Eastbrand and chase down the rest. Robbie's dropping down the order. Robbie's gone off. And that is another car off. XR8's second race, looking like the worst of them all. You can see a bit of a change going on between TTRE. Zink's pushing up into P10 now, so already a very good start from TTRE. They're getting the start that they needed. Heading round, it's looking incredibly close. But look at that, EBR Connor getting past Eastbrand while he's at it for P3. And that is not the start one side of the AMS garage would have wanted, but it's a decent start for the other side. But it's quite close, isn't it?
Yeah, there's absolute chaos in the background at the back match. They're going full ride into turn 10. That was absolutely crazy how they managed to keep it together and not take each other out. But absolutely intense racing in the just an open. Of course, Vassar and Robbie got very unlucky. And I think that's an XBG guy. He was unlucky as well.
By the way, Connor's gone for the soft.
No, he doesn't. See?
Yeah, Connor's gone for the soft tyres.
He has.
He's gone for the speedy start.
Pit stop.
I think, and he retires. Benjamin's retired. Our first retirement SET, not getting away with a good second race either. No points from the first. And it looks like one of their chances is gone. See further back. You can see, look at this. Tringler trying to get past Truly. It's a battle of the T's. We'll have to see. Tringler heading into turn 4. Can he take P11? No, he can't. Not just yet. He's going to have to wait behind that RB for a bit longer. And ultimately, Benjamin retired because his internet was going crazy. So he's done it for everybody else. Disappointing. Disappointing for him. Very unlucky. But Frozen getting chased down by Connor. It's looking a little bit close here.
Obviously going to get an advantage here with some soft, of course, so we'll have way more grip on the fresher soft compound tyre. Right, everyone just on a more durable hard compound tyre. Chucking it back in Connor though. I think he's going to wait until the first turn. But the thing is about the first turn, there's a lot of bumps on the main straight. So I don't know if that will affect him or not. But we're about to find out now. Approaching the final corner. On the main straight, I don't think that's supposed to go defensive. That's just him trying to avoid the bumps, just like everybody else. And as Connor takes to this lead and gets it done way before the braking zone, and as Luan moves up into 7th, again gets to the before braking zone, gets it done on the Canis. Well, his teammate though is in P6, so I do think he has got a bit of consistency in him.
I think this is interesting. I think VL are looking very consistent here at the moment. Zinks, by the way, down the inside. Some would say a desperate dive bomb, but a dive bomb indeed. And it is worked out for him. Zinks up to P8. TTRE on a big push back up the order. They want to get those points rolling back in. But it's looking pretty interesting. AMS, though, poor start from both of them. I think Frozen had a decent start. I think he actually got away quite well for all of the drivers on the hard tyres. But somebody who didn't get away well was Eastbrand, of course. I think he had the worst start, I'd say, out of the top 4. He just, he's dropped from 2nd down to 4th already. He's lost 2 places in this race, and he's opened up his teammate to, of course, an attack from for EVR Connor specifically. But at the moment, only the top 6 sticking within DRS of each other, just about. Lewin Skiller's lost time. He's now over a second behind, so no DRS for the LR driver. But it's not exactly the worst of news for them, because you've got to remember, LR have, they didn't have the best of first races, so they're really just trying to get consistent points. And you can see here comes Zinks though. Oh! Massive contact! Lewin Skiller moving over to the left-hand side very aggressively as Zinks pulled past. In my opinion, I'd say that was more Lewin Skiller's fault than Zinks's.
Yeah, that was absolutely crazy. About that AMS thing, I don't think Frozen can really do much about either Connor soft, but he's getting quite close. I do think that is an early sign that the soft shot already wearing off 4 laps into the race. Yeah, look how close he is. But OS Brand, he just got a bit of luck at the start. I didn't really think we were going to see that, and the thing was going to work out for him, especially to the fact that he's going to be on the outside. He did get pushed into the curb quite a bit, which sort of like bogged his car down a bit. Look at the front. Frozen. How are the turntables between the top 2? It sounds like they switched roles, because now it is Frozen putting the immense amount of pressure on Connor. I'm just going to mention how close he was in Sector 2 when I was waffling about YS Brandon. But I think he will be able to get a move done into this first corner, and actually now about to enter
a couple of moves.
Lap 5.
I think we'll see a couple of moves because Finn's quite close as well. He's within striking distance, I'd say, with the DRS. And here comes Frozen, choosing to go on the racing line. He's going to go to that outside line pretty easy. We've also got Finn behind. Was he able to make the move? No, he's going to have to stick behind the McLaren for a little bit longer. But you can see there, Finn is getting back into this battle a bit more. He's definitely there. And here comes Eastbrand, though, on the Sauber. Can he make the move? Connor, by the way, retakes the lead, and Finn holds on to P3, so we're back to the order we're in. I will say there's a bit of disappointment going on, and that disappointment, I'd say, is coming from Milan a little bit. He looked very promising in qualifying, has kind of dropped the ball slightly in the race so far. He's lost, I think, 2 places, isn't he? He's lost 2 places. He's gone from 3rd to 5th, if we actually bring up the positions. He has lost 2 places, so he's dropped 2 places, same as Eastbrand. The driver who's dropped the most places is actually Raz Game, who's dropped 6. Sorry, Dusty, who's also dropped 7. Biggest gains have actually been Zinks, Ryan Benink, and BMH all up 8. And EVR Connor up 7. So what a drive from Connor. But Milan's down 2. He's not really finding himself close enough to get into this sort of top 4 battle. He's kind of sitting here waiting and watching. That's kind of, in my opinion, I usually say that's kind of the worst area you're in, being this sort of half a second behind where you're not close enough to get into the battle, but you're not far enough back to give up on it. So he's just kind of hanging and waiting for that sort of chaos to happen. But the chaos might just start about now, because we might be getting a 3-wide moment, and we do get a 3-wide moment as Finn tries to take the lead, and he does take the lead into turn 1. He's giving Frozen a difficult time, and Frozen down to P3 as Connor battles his way back up onto the front row. And here he comes again, Connor. He's going for it again into turn 4, his favourite corner it seems to be, and he retakes the lead. But that is an interesting one to see. Maybe those softs still have some life in them.
Yes, they definitely will. That is Connor absolutely fighting for his life to try and hold up the hard runners, to try and lessen this damage further on in the race. I do think that he will box around lap 12, I'm guessing. So just show a couple of laps before the hard runners will do. And actually, but Finn almost got 2 in 1 in that first corner. Very impressive. Almost came out of nowhere. But look at Rice Brand. He sort of came out of nowhere, overtaking his teammate.
Yeah,
very much into the podium.
Very much under the radar, wasn't it? Very much under the radar for that move. Might have been a swap, though, between the two. Maybe see if Eastbrand can make some moves up the order, because Frozen seems to be going a bit backwards, doesn't he, in this race? He just seems to be dropping back more and more. Whoa, and a massive slide for Eastbrand. That's not going to help his chances of getting past Connor down this straight. We know Connor And that McLaren has had incredible straight line speed, but it is going to be Finn who's going to try and pull past. Look at this, 3 wide, almost, into turn 1. It is Finn who leads. Connor's slightly behind. Who's going to come out on top out of turn 2? Is it Eastbrand? Eastbrand's giving space. Connor still battling it. Finn heading up the hill. Who is going to lead into turn 4? Connor still holds on to P2, while Finn takes the lead of the race, and HRT are getting possibly their first lap of leading a race underway, while Milan, also a bit of a move under the radar, made up to P4, and Simba is now also eyeing up a move on AMS Frozen.
Yeah, that was completely under the radar from Milan. I think you were just mentioning how he's a bit not close enough, but not too far back with a 5-10 gap difference. But I do think he has rated the game perfectly for that chaos to happen.
I think
so yeah, Finn.
Yeah.
Yeah, Finn. Is almost about to complete the first lap led by HRT in this championship, unless Connor can absolutely throw it down the inside, which I don't think he will do. But Rice Brand, keeping the same. Can he make a move? Who will be into the lead into this turn 1 on lap 8 now, I believe? Yes, it is. Will Connor go to the outside to the inside? He has got much choice as Finn goes to the middle. Connor just to the inside. He's going to throw it down the inside. Or goes to the curve a bit. That may affect his exit, and I think the top 3 will stay the same. Top 5 maybe. But here comes Ricebrand, who backs out of it. But here comes Connor, throws it down the inside, and can he get the race lead? No, I think Finn was a bit squeezed off.
Whoa, saw side by side.
And Ricebrand hangs around the outside in a beautiful move. Here comes SKG Milan around the outside again. Can he move up to pole position? The answer is yes. Goes to Connor. Can he lose another position? I don't think he will lose another position. And no, that just, oh my god.
Ghosting
that
worked out
very
for Connor
lucky
there
from the
quite
EVR
nicely.
driver. Yeah.
They worked out very, very nicely for himself. Eastbrand up to P2, back to where he started. Milan up to P3. 3 different constructors on the podium, by the way, and 2 of them will be new to the podium this season. So it's going to be quite interesting, isn't it? We're only going to have 1 team who would have converted a podium from last race to this race. But even that's up for chance because EVR Connor is still sitting there with a chance. He has made these softs last quite a while at a decent pace, but you can see the grip is starting to go a bit in the softs. I think we'll see him come into the pits maybe lap 10, maybe lap 12, but we'll have to see. Here comes Frozen now on EVR Connor. Who's going to get that? Eastbrand takes the lead of the race into turn 1. It's a pretty simple move with the straight line speed. Who's going to get P2 though? That's the bigger question because it is the battle between HRT and SKG, if I can say their name for the life of me. But look at this. Do you know what all this battling has done? It's allowed everybody down to P13 to catch up to this. It's allowed from now, it's not just the top 6 together, it's the top 13 all within DRS of each other. This has really shaken things up because it's what happens when you start battling. And Ryan Benink, by the way, with an amazing move on Lewin Skiller for P8. And that's another position gained and another 2 points gained for XR8 here tonight, who are looking for some revenge from last race and to gain some more points. You have sadly gone muted, which is disappointing, Miku. I expect better. But no, technical problems hitting us. Yeah, I don't know what happened there, but either way. Yeah, we still can't hear you. Really.
I think it's absolutely heartbreak for Ryan.
There we go, you're back. And now Connor has come in.
James.
We're having some technical problems here tonight, which is an interesting one.
Yes, we are.
We're having some technical problems.
Hang on a minute. Oh, no. Is it back? Hello, hello, hello.
Yeah, that's working. Your mic was just cutting in
Okay.
and out. But it's Milan who now takes the lead, and we're going to be seeing, by the way, I believe this would be the 4th team of the night to lead. Which is interesting, isn't it, to see so many teams lead in one single night. But Zinx, up to P5, he's doing the unimaginable right now. Oh my god, the technical problems are killing us here tonight. Not sure what is happening. My apologies. I know it is paused. Just give me a second. I do apologise, everybody, for the hectic night we're having technical-wise. But you can see Eastbrand trying to get up into the lead of the race. Down the inside he goes on Finn. Can Finn hold on to it? SKG just led their first lap of the season. But Eastbrand is going to take the lead of the race. Last race, AMS didn't lead a single lap in the opening race. And now, we're going to see here tonight, can AMS, they've already led most of the laps here tonight. But it's been quite a big mix of teams. Quite a few teams at the moment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 teams in the top 6, by the way. Lots of different teams at the moment. All having a rather difficult night so far for some. Not so difficult night for others. It's all been quite interesting.
Hi, I'm back.
Yeah, you are. You're back. It's working, finally. Ooh. Hopefully we don't have any more problems.
Hopefully. Who's going to lead now? Last brand, Milan has fallen down to 3rd. I don't know what's gone on. Because I was too busy on the Xbox menu. Anyway, top 3 is last brand, Finn, Milan, Frozen, and Zinc. I do think I've gone a bit far. But Simba in 6th, he still found his consistency, but he's got very hungry. Ryan Benning behind him. Are we going to go for pit stops? No, we are not. We're going to wait another couple of laps. Random. To the outside, will he get them on the straight or at the braking zone? We'll find out round about now, very late on the brakes. He's going to be trying to hang around the outside, and I think he will be able to. That was Jinx getting it up into 4th.
And he's
last friend defending.
He's done exactly what we saw Connor doing earlier, and just popping himself back up into the lead into turn 4. Smart move. I think Eastbrand's noticed you can do that, and so I think he's trying to do that now. Zink's up to P4, very solid there. Ryan Benink as well, getting past Simba. Interesting though, interesting drive at the moment coming from Ryan Benink. Very quiet drive, yet making his way up the order.
It really is. I don't think we haven't seen a lot of him really. He should have been. He did start 18th, to be fair, and we do prioritise battles at the front, not for P15. Yeah, it's a respectable drive from the XRA owner / driver. Yeah, hopefully he can gain even more positions and get some good redemption.
Very much. I would say Ryan Benink, he lost out that win due to penalties last week. He's fighting now. He is in a chance, by the way, to win here tonight now. He's brought himself back into the chance. Finn's going to take the lead. You can see Milan's going to also pull up into P2. Zinx, do you think he's taken a bit out of his tyres a bit too soon? Because the aggression seems to have left the RB slightly, and he's struggling to keep up a bit off of exits.
Well, maybe, but maybe I think the straight line speed issue is maybe because of setup. I think everyone else is from entire different setups. Every single team, I mean.
I think we did see that, we saw Connor, really strong with the straight line speed. I think he was probably the strongest driver out there. We saw everybody else struggling to get past him, but yeah, I do agree with you.
And again, we did see him absolutely throw it down the inside at turn 4, I believe. Yeah, I don't think he hasn't really fallen off a pace. He's still in 4th. He is still very much in the contention for the win. I think almost everybody is in the contention to win. It's from Finn all the way down to BM8, but I think that is a bit of a stretch, considering he has to gain 9 positions, like 16 laps. Anyway, back at the front, Finn is kind of gapped Milan a bit. 7/10, while YS brand is still very closely behind him. Can YS brand make a move? I think Finn will be able to keep in the lead, and yeah, the order stays the same. Ryan Benink, is he going to try and make a move? No, he will not. What about... No, I don't think anybody else is.
I don't think there was much point there. I think the drivers are starting to level out. They're starting to think strategy-wise, especially with pit stops coming up soon. Remember, about maybe we'll see in lap 16 to 18, we'll probably start to see pit stops. In the next sort of 2 to 3 laps, we'll see them coming in from the hard tyre runners. One driver I do want to mention who was all of the action earlier and none of it now, Connor, on his own on the hard tyres. He's sitting, 9 seconds behind P17. But I also want to mention about the fall from grace XPG have had. A win last week, P17, and no second driver this week. Bit of a miserable one, really, for XPG. Although, have they stopped? Because if they've stopped, then I do understand, I think. Let's have a look. Have they stopped? They haven't stopped. So it's been a really miserable one, hasn't it, for XPG? No glimmer of... They've had no sort of glimmers of pace at any point. They've had no upturn in sort of position. They just, Mono's having a bit of a strong race, a bit of a difficult race, isn't he, Mano? He's really struggling with the performance to find it in that Ferrari. But Milan now retakes the lead of the race. See Finn Luke down the inside, trying to hold on to his podium position. But look at this, Zinks he's found the aggression at the right point. Whoa, and a big slide for Finn. And he's down to P4 now. And Zinks up onto the podium. And we've got to talk about this drive Zinks is having. He is having a drive of the season at the moment. He's dragged this from about P15 or something. I think he's dragged it from P16 to P3. He's on an absolute performance.
13.
Yeah.
13 position gains. Oh my god.
He is really...
drive.
He's on
like
top.
halfway through as well.
Yeah. I think the craziest thing is, think about if he had done qualifying. I think we could have been seeing Zinks as the fastest man.
Yeah, he could. I have a bad cough. Anyway, but yeah, SPG Milan in the lead has gained 2 positions. Ryan Benink gained 12 positions. BM8 has gained 9 positions. Quite dry from the HRT driver. Alex teammate up in 4th. Where he currently is, very qualified in. So yeah, will we see some overtaking action, or will we see some pit stops? I think we might see some overtaking action, and Kang Reyes brand getting to the lead. It's going to be a risky one. Oh, he doesn't decide to take that risk. What about further on? Sorry, back into the field.
I think everybody's trying to keep safe at the moment, I'd say. I think everybody's just trying to set themselves up for the pit stops and get their race done. And I think that's the change you see from first 10 laps to midway point, all the way from, I would say, about lap 12 to about lap 23, 24. Everybody's just trying to make sure they don't crash, they don't have any incidents, and they do actually get to the end of the race. But the one driver who's having a bit of a rough lap now is actually the man who was just leading the race, Finn, who's under attack now from AMS Frozen, who's had a bit of an unlucky race so far. Pole to P5, not looking too great from the AMS driver. But I must say, Finn's put on a good day. He's putting in a good race, but he definitely needs to catch up a bit now to Zinks, because he's dropped the top 3 a bit. They're about 3/4 of a second ahead now, getting closer and closer to that DRS barrier. and where he won't get DRS, and that's a bit too much of a risk to have.
Yeah, definitely is. Yeah, Finn, obviously under pressure, I do think he has gone under a bit of a rough patch. I do think he'll be able to keep his position though. He has got quite a bit of DRS, I don't see him flashing, and he has got DRS. Anyway, back at the front, SPG Milan are defending, but I do think that's a bit worthless. As you now get a brand new top 3, while Astra now retakes the lead. While Sinks in P2 gets another position, that is 14 positions gained, while Milan has fallen down to 3rd.
Yeah, I think I think this was what we sort of saw, wasn't it, from sort of Milan, Finn, Frozen. You saw when they used up their tyres earlier in the race, they really went through a rough patch with the tyre wear. And I think we're seeing that from Milan and Frozen. I think Frozen hit that quite early, where I think his tyres were more overheating. But I think we're seeing Milan just struggle with tyre wear a bit. But it is all up to play for, isn't it? I'd definitely say the sort of top, I'd say probably about the top 8 have a chance of winning. But at the moment, that might be reducing soon down to the top 7 because the VEL duo of Simba and Shanez, P8 and P9, starting to drop off a bit, about half a second off of P7. So it might go down to a 7-way fight. But still, it's still all up to grab. It's all up to play for at the moment because, we've still got 7 different drivers from 7 different drivers from 6 different teams who can all still win. It is all still a battle.
Yeah, it definitely is. And I think you might see more battling down the straight. Look at that massive DRS train. Absolutely colossal. Which way should it go? Or should just 6 behind? Here comes SKG Milan though. Down the inside. Absolutely throws it down. But he's trying to fight back. But Milan will just edge ahead. Very, very good move from the newly found SKG driver.
Yeah, I think Zinks is being a bit too careful. And I get that he's gained a lot of positions and he's on a race of an absolute career at the moment. But you know what I mean though. I think he was just a bit too safe into that turn 1. He should have pushed for it. He should have pushed to defend. But it hasn't worked out. But I must say, we've only had 1 retirement in all 18 laps of this race. And that first retirement came on lap 1 when Benjamin retired in the pits. So it's been a very interesting race, hasn't it? And it's been interesting to see how the drivers have still kept it sort of pretty much together. No real problems, no real big amounts of contact. And it's been quite a clean night.
It really is. I'm surprised I haven't seen any DNF so far.
Yeah. Only one by choice as well because of internet. That was all. So I think this is the one thing I will say I do enjoy about Bahrain is that it's much harder to crash and DNF on this track compared to, for instance, Zandvoort. Because of its space and how wide it is very difficult to DNF on this track. But we're going to see again, Milan takes the lead. Lewin Skiller gets a 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Rookie mistake there from himself. That's going to put LR in a really difficult situation. They look like they won't even score points today. As you can see, BMH, by the way, gets past Simba. So Simba's having a couple really difficult laps. But BMH pushing his way up the order. And HRT actually looking like they're in a really good spot at the moment. They'd score 16 points off of this race alone, which is a very, very strong performance after missing last race. But it's SKG who I want to talk about here because they are Milan. If he takes away a victory, it'll be the first time, by the way, that the top 3 in the constructors didn't win the second race of the season. So it's going to be an interesting one.
Yes, it really will. It really will. I think SKG are quite a new team, so this win will mean quite a lot to them. But I do think, there's still quite a bit of chance that that win will get taken away by them by either TTRA, I think, or AMS.
Yeah.
Or even HRT.
I think realistically, there's HRT, there's XR8 in this, and possibly Shanez, who's having actually a really good last few sort of 2-3 laps, by the way. And look at that. We can see Zinks comes in. I think Finn came in and AMS Frozen came in. So quite a few drivers. Look at that. Look at the pit straight. We're down to 5. We had about 10 on that one pit straight. So a big change, isn't it? But I have to say, Eastbrand's really risking it, isn't he? Going for this extra lap. We know the undercut is quite powerful around this track. So he's really pushing it. Look at that, truly, with the fastest lap of the race, 29.094 is what's to beat for the fastest lap. But I don't think anybody's really aiming to beat that at the moment. But Connor has found himself up to P7, by the way. But he's 0.8 off of his personal best. I don't think we're going to see Connor stay there for very long because he's been on those tyres for about 10 laps already. We can actually give it a quick check, but we can see who's been on which tyres. You can see everybody's changed to the soft tyres, by the way, till the end of the race. Connor's been on those, I'm correct, actually on those tyres for 10 laps. So I don't think we're going to be seeing him stay up in P7 for much longer. But everybody's going to change, but especially to the soft tyres, we might actually see a bit of a problem here for the people who stayed out, because those soft tyres are going to be massively quicker. We can already see Eastbrand is 0.3 off of his personal best on hard tyres. Think about what they'll be doing on the softs. They'll be going way faster.
Yeah, definitely will. Look at that, 8th to 18th, all on the first soft compound tyre. So it's not all about strategy now.
Milan stayed out.
And by Eastbrand. Oh no, what's he doing?
He stayed out. He's going longer. He thinks he can go longer on the hard tyres. He's trying to get I think he's trying to get the overcut and save the tyre wear, but he's really risking it. Let's see where these guys come out. Where's Eastbrand in all of this? Ryan Benink is coming along. Sorry, that was Robbie. Where is everybody? Look at this. Oh my God, 3 wide going on.
3 wide. Could be 4 wide, or we're ending up in 3 wide.
In P4, has Truly actually read this incredibly well? How long has he been? He's been on this. Truly's read this incredibly well, hasn't he? 3 laps on the tyres now. 3 wide into turn 4. Zinks backs out. But it is Finn who's battling. They are going. These guys are going for it. Whoa! It's a contact. Truly has to go off track. The gravel. And that is a bit of a push off. But you know what's bad now? AMS are in a really bad position, because they're 7th and 9th, and that's really not where they want to be. They've really been undercut here.
They really have. Here comes AMS versus the round the outside of Truly. Very good move. Kind of Aspering, trying to make another move. The answer is yes. He's going to absolutely dunk it down the inside. Very good. Oh no, he goes round! Oh no!
And that is Eastbrand's day, I think, very much ruined. He's not going to come out, I think, in front of Milan in any sort of way. But AMS are really going to be on the back foot now, especially with Eastbrand. He's, I'd say, outside of a chance of winning. His hopes will be all relying on him just getting points now. Only one AMS driver could get P6 as it stands. Where is Milan going to come out? He's gone for the mediums!
Oh my God.
What is his strategy? Even I can't decipher it. But into turn 1, Robbie goes off on the hard tyres. He just completely cuts the corner. I think he's just letting everybody by anyway. But this is crazy. Look at this. Almost 3 wide into the next corner.
Oh, that's a car off. Oh, very good save.
Whoa! And that's Frozen, who's almost spun it as well at the same time. Holy! AMS's day has gone from bad to worse, and I think Frozen at best will finish P5 now because of Lewin Skiller's penalty. But look at this. The absolute assault that is going on is crazy. And you can see Connor now in front.
They can be straight down the inside. Oh, he's going straight back as Robbie. That was a very close moment. Oh my God. It is absolute chaos.
Mediums was an accident.
Down the other side, ladies off again. Oh wow!
Oh, no, Connor's round.
Save. Oh no!
Connor was on old hards anyway, so I don't think he was going to be scoring points in the end. Milan, by the way, boosts himself up to P9. The mediums was an accident, as his engineer says. A mistake, as Cott says. That's a big mistake to make, though, isn't it? Especially so late in the race. It's a massive mistake to make. But Frozen is really having a battle for this race, isn't he? He's having a massive battle, and he might get overtaken by Milan here. And he does get overtaken by Milan. Look at this! Holy, 4 wide!
What are they doing?
I have no words, but look at this. Milan gets through into P7. Chanez as well. Frozen, 3-second time penalty. Frozen's outside of the top 10. It's all gone wrong for AMS. And it doesn't look like they'll score points.
My word, what an intense 2 laps there's just been.
And it's getting more intense. Lewis Skiller, by the way, going for P2.
It's turned into an absolute sprint race rather than an endurance race now. He's Ryan Benning there around the outside. Can he stick it? I think he is gonna. No, he's not. Stanley Jinx, he's gonna get the switch back. He's gonna get the switch back. Side by side. Lewis Skiller goes defensive, kind of boxes Ryan Benning off, but I think he rode back off a bit.
Whoa,
that's Rash Brand.
It's East Brown, he's round, he's spun it. It's disappointment and AMS's day, and I think their championship lead might just be over.
Oh no.
Because look at how Zinx is leading, and truly P5 could go to P4. I think TTRE at the moment will take the lead of the championship out of round 2. And AMS might drop down to 2nd or 3rd. We'll have to see. But Zinx now leads on to lap 24. 5 more laps of this race to go. It is coming close. It's a 4-way battle now. It really is. I think SKG, I think we can agree. Whoa, and it's a virtual safety car. YS Brand. East Brand, he spun it, again. And his front wing is completely off. I think that's why we've gotten the virtual safety car. But holy, the teams that came out strong last week are not coming out strong this week.
Yeah, I don't know what's happened to BMH.
And Robbie's retired
from the session.
And it's a safety car. It's a full safety car. Yeah.
Saying VSC on mine.
Yeah, no, I know, but look at the mini-map. It has the safety cars out. This is going to change things up a lot. Who is going... This means we could probably... I think we'll probably see 2 laps of this as drivers go around.
2 laps of racing?
No, that 2 laps really of safety bad car, for, like, probably.
Right, that is really bad for Frozen, Simba, and Luan, who got a penalty and Canes. Get a... Oh, wow, that's a lot of penalties. Let me just quickly check.
Just 2 penalties, I think.
Yeah, Luan has a 10-second.
Robbie got a
puncture. Canes has a drive-through. Simba has a 3-second. Tringler has a 3-second. And Frozen...
Are we going to see more pit stops?
Maybe.
I don't know, because have they got any softs remaining? That's the question.
Luan will definitely pit, because he's got to get rid of that 10 seconds.
Luan will. I think Chanez can't, because he won't get rid of his drive-through penalty.
Oh, Milan will. Milan definitely will.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Let's see. Who's going in? No, Zinc stays out. Finn, everybody else is going in, except...
Milan, what are you doing?
Front 2. And I think Chanez is going in. I think Chanez is in. Look at this.
Teammates.
Most of the grid have gone in. And there's just a couple of drivers left. There's the top 6. And this changes it all again. Because at the moment, if I was to calculate this behind the safety car, SKG will be 1-2.
Oh my god, they will.
What is going on? Please.
SKG 1-2. That is crazy.
This race, but you know the worst part? The worst part is for AMS, who are still going to be out of the points. That's the worst part. They're still going to be out of the points. And the guys who scored 30 points in the opening race will go to the second race and score none. While SKG will take, as it stands, 43 points from this race. They'll take the lead of the constructors. Then it will be followed by, I believe it will be followed by TTRE. And then, I'm not sure who else will be next. I think it will be TTRE and then possibly XRA. I have no clue. But I know that at least SKG will lead the Constructors' Championship out of round 2 and possibly also TTRE.
Yeah, definitely will. SKG 1-2 will be absolutely crazy. But yeah, it's all about...
Oh, look at this.
Aggression, getting your elbows out.
Everybody's gone softs, but 3 drivers went for mediums. So I think they ran out.
Sometimes I wonder
Sometimes I wonder. But this strategy from SKG, we were saying about how poor it was. Now we're saying about how good it is.
Yeah, it is. It really could. I'm just going on about how we can SKG 1-2. So yeah, I don't know what's going on with my timing. But yeah, I do think we are going to get underway very soon. Oh no, that is fake. That might bring out the safety car for another lap.
I think going on to lap 27 will be going. I think lap 27.
Yeah.
Which is going to be incredibly interesting to see, because that means they'll have about 3 laps of racing. 2 to 3 laps of racing to go. And if they only have 2, I think we're going to see unholy amounts of chaos. But in this case, for Zinks, I feel bad for him because he's almost lost out the chance of actually winning.
Yeah, they definitely will. I do think my money is going to rely on Milan. He's been so quick throughout the entirety of the race. Let's come further back in the field. Finn down in P7, that's quite a surprise. Ryan down in P8, truly, actually Nova in P9. The Simmons has a penalty, so, so does AMS version. BMH selling 13th. I see them double stack with Finn. Looks just a bit unlucky on his side, but he was in P8, so that was a very half a decent drive in the first half of the race. But I think because of penalties, he would definitely move up the order. Speaking of which, almost everybody would definitely move up the order. Just how many penalties have been given out?
Yeah, I know. I think it's 1, 2, 4. It's 6 drivers with penalties. 1 is outside of the top 10. So at least 5 drivers in the top 10 will drop down the order. But we'll have to see, based off this start, we'll have to see. We know Eastbound is out of the chance of getting anything. I feel bad for him a bit. He was on for a good race. Same for AMS Frozen, but it looks like very much.
The car's not going in.
My God, it's going for a while, isn't it?
I have 2 laps of racing.
Yeah, we're going to be down to 2 laps remaining. 2 laps of racing to
I have
go.
no DRS.
This is going to be great. I hope this isn't any glitch that we have, meaning we'll be stuck with this till the end of the race.
They're going to have 2 laps of racing.
Yeah. They're going to have
maybe even
approximately about 7 to 8 chances to make overtakes. Because realistically, there's 4 corners on this track you can overtake at? Turn 1, turn 4, downhill hairpin, and the fast right-hander. Realistically.
Yeah.
So 8 corners.
Brand's got to get a move on. Really.
Yeah, he is
so
catching.
Fake.
He is slowly catching.
2
Imagine laps. Holy.
Imagine if it doesn't come in this lap. They're going to have 1 lap of racing.
We can't. It has to have 2.
I remember.
If it doesn't come in this lap, then it's glitched.
Okay. Okay, we've got a 5 lapper to decide it then.
No, so we've never had this problem before. So I'd be surprised if we have to do anything. We'll figure
Honestly,
it out. I'd have to look into
got a penalty. He's got a penalty. What?
Oh my God. What's he done? Has he just collided with Mono?
No, hang on. Race director, incidents. Hey, we're going to go a bit far down. Oh my God, he's got a penalty in the safety car.
10-second time penalty. AMS will not score points, and the safety car is in this lap. Zinks will lead us away. TTRE have led some more laps here in Bahrain on an absolutely amazing return. But AMS, no points for AMS as it stands. And I don't think there will be any points, because I think there's more drivers in front of Eastbound than points positions available. We'll have to see. But Zinks, he can go when he wants to. Is he going now? He's waiting.
He's gonna
go now. He goes. We're only going to have 2 laps of racing. The final 2 laps. Look at this. We've already got almost side by side in the background. Some drivers struggling to get away. Down towards turn 1 they go. Only DRS will be enabled on the next lap, on the final lap of the race. So it is all about driver skill. And Milan into turn 1. He's trying to get it. Oh, but Bradley's gone off the track. He's made a mistake. Milan struggling to get past Lewin Skiller and Zinks. Sadly, he's going to stay in P3 for now. He's going to be waiting till that final lap for the DRS. Let's see into turn 4. Can he make that move? No, he hasn't. He's still unable to look at the battling going on further back. Bradley using ghosting to his advantage, and he gets up to P5 in the end. He'll be P2 by the end of this. And Finn, further behind. Look at this! 3 wide almost! Into the downhill right-hander.
God.
Finn trying to get past Tringler for the position of P6, but it's going to be Ryan Benink 3 wide! Almost! Oh, look, Ryan Benink's off! He's going to get the exit, though. Oh! And that's Bradley round. As he resets, he's going to get a penalty for that. But he's down to last anyway. I don't think there's any chances. Look at this. Ryan Benink battling with Truly at the same time. It is all going on here. Finn pulls himself up into the position of P2. And I think and Benink will be P3. All of it's changing. 3 new podium sitters, by the way. But Finn's got in a penalty.
I see. Oh my God. The old fumbling. The top 3 after penalties will be Milan, Ryan, and Truly. What is going on?
It's completely changed now. Final lap. Heading down towards turn 1.
Oh my God.
Lewin Skiller trying to get past Zinks. Of course, this is the difference between 1 or 2 positions. Zinks around the outside. He's going to hold on to the position. It is all battling. Ryan Benink also battling over position. He's gotten past Finn in the end. Eastbrand gets another 3-second time, but he's completely ruled out of any chance. You can see Frozen as well. Down the order, he's also P9. He's going to drop outside the top 10 anyway. It's all for... Oh! Car to the wall! That's Truly out!
Oh, Truly's bobbing. Oh my God, it's actually... Oh no, that is absolute heartbreak. For the team, he's on for P3. Oh my God.
And Finn's as well out of the chance. This is all changing. What is going on? Lewin Skiller leads. It's Zinks who then gets the comeback. You can see Finn now retires. Oh my God, what is happening?
My God, this... Oh, it's a cover as well! That is Razor! And AMS... Oh my God!
It's all going wrong. What is happening? Look at this. Ryan Benink, by the way, is caught up to Milan. Will Ryan Benink send it?
One corner. I have one corner. One corner to the side of the race win. Oh my God!
Ryan Benink!
Oh, here he goes!
Who's gonna get it? Oh!
Alive! I think he's gonna be
4 wide!
Oh my God! It's Milan!
Ryan Benink!
Oh my God! Ryan Benink wins! SKT Milan is second! BMA is a P4! Dusty Bassoon, P3! Ziggs P5! My word! Oh my God.
I have no words for that. Oh my God.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I just have... Holy. I think AMS are not too happy. I've seen in the the chat, AMS are not too happy.
I've just seen the AMS disaster class.
But Zinks, by the way, Zinks thinks he can get his penalty removed, so we might be seeing Zinks win. We have no clue who's going to be winning this, but let's just go through the order. Ryan Benink from P18, he wins, followed by Milan in second, SKG on the podium, 64 thousandths behind, and it is an EVR podium with Dusty getting P3. BMH from 14th to 4th. What a day from this man. Then Zinks in 5th. Then Mono in 6th. Rare XPG points. Absolutely out of the blue. Frozen in 7th. So still points for AMS. Simba in 8th. Connor in 9th. And Tringler in 10th. With SCT getting their first points. Lewin Skillers 11th. Bradley 12th. Shanna's 13th. Razor Gamer 14th. And Eastbrand in 15th. The retirements being Finn, Truly, Robbie, and Benjamin.
my God.
Holy, that race. There's going to be a lot to talk about, and I think we're going to be getting quite a few reports.
I think it's broke the sound barrier in the last lap.
Yeah, we probably did. I think we screwed. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, actually like, but when a bit out, it just yelled so hard.
Yeah, I think my mic just completely killed itself. I think my mic's just like, nah, I'm done, bro. But
Oh my God.
absolute craziness. But that was. I have no words for the chaos. No words. At all.
Me neither.
Oh
My God. I can't.
Holy.
I need to process. I still need to process.
Me too. I just don't know what to say. It was, I think that was the craziest end to a race we've ever had.
Yeah, that's like 4 DNFs.
I think that it was crazy. We'll have to see, because Zinx thinks he can get his penalty removed, so we'll have to see whether TTRE do get that. But roughly by my understanding, I don't know who's taking the lead of the constructors, because I know currently AMS would be up to 36 points. That's all I know in my head. So at the moment, I'm not sure who has done what at the moment. But as that is the end, it's sadly also the end of the stream. I hope you guys have enjoyed it, and I'm sorry for breaking your ears, and they might be bleeding. Don't send me any medical bills. I'm not going to pay for them. I don't care.
Actually.
Ultimately, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed it. Please think about subscribing, leaving a like. Also, a massive thanks to our affiliates, SimRacing Centre. Also, big up to also click on that notification bell to know about all the content we do, from videos, shorts, and streams.
In my name.
Yeah. Any last words, Will?
Yeah, I just want to say what an absolutely crazy race. Especially in the final lap, we never knew who was going to win, but it was Van Bidding with a beautiful last to first masterclass of a drive from the XR8 driver. Just absolutely hats off to him. Drive holiday performance.
I think it will be really sad if Zinx does get his penalty removed. I will feel bad for Ryan Binning twice, in back-to-back races. Out of the podium, as he'll feel maybe cheated out of the win. Who knows? But ultimately, thank you guys so much. I hope you have an absolutely great day. Make sure to join us on Sunday at 8 p.m. for fours, same time. And let me also look at the track we're going to for fours. This Sunday, we'll be going to Abu Dhabi. So listen to me, guys. Thank you so much, and I'll see you very soon. Bye.
Bye.